Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for checking out my channel today. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to install Halo 2 with online multiplayer on the Retroid Pocket. I'm currently running a Retroid Pocket Flip 2, but this method should also work if you're using an RP5 or 6. So the main thing that you guys want to make sure that you do is go over to my Discord if you haven't already, and you want to check the Android section. In the Android section, there is an emulator that I just uploaded called Star. You do want to download that APK. And as soon as you've downloaded it and you've installed it, it doesn't matter where the APK goes, but what's most important is you want to create a file folder called Halo 2 or whatever you want to call it, just so that you know where your Halo 2 game is. If you don't know how to create a file folder, you click on these three little dots up here, and then you just press New Folder, and then you can type in the name of whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it Halo. Sorry, I got fat fingers. And there we go. So now I have a folder called Halo in my downloads. So once we open Star, we'll know exactly where these files in here are, which you also need to download. This is the setup. So first things we're going to do is go to Google and type in Project Cartographer. This is essentially the creator of this mod so that you can play Halo 2 online. This is what the website looks like. And as soon as you go here, you're going to scroll down and click on Full Game plus Mod and Installer. It should look exactly like this. And as soon as that finishes downloading, you're going to make sure you move it over to that file folder that we created for Halo 2. Once that's completed, you should have Star on your home screen since you installed it, and it should look like this. Now, the first thing we're going to do is create a new container. And we're going to call this container Halo 2 so that you know exactly what this is for. I like to change my theme to dark. We're going to set the screen resolution to 1920 by 1080. The turnip driver, you want to make sure you're using 25.2.0. Set the device memory to 8 gigabytes and press OK. Go to the DX wrapper configuration and set that to 2.5 or 2.5.2 as well. Set the frame rate to 60 frames per second and set the max memory to 8 gigabytes also. Then we're going to scroll down, and I like to change my wallpaper. And then all this stuff, we're just going to leave all this stuff alone. Don't touch anything in here. Everything is going to stay exactly how it looks here. But you do want to head over to environmentals. We want to get rid of this DXVK HUD because it'll just show a bunch of annoying information about the FPS in the emulator, and it takes up like the majority of the screen. Change the zinc descriptors from lazy to cached, and then you also want to go into the drive section, and you want to find that folder that we created for Halo 2, which is in the downloads and Game Hub. Halo 2, and then just use this folder as a drive so that when you go into Star, you can easily find it. Press the advanced. Now, what's important is when you're downloading the game, you want to make sure that you set your bot 64 to stability and your startup to normal when you're downloading the game. Now press that check mark in the bottom right hand corner to create your container, and then we're going to go ahead and press play to start up the container, and it'll take you to your desktop. Now once you're on your desktop, you're going to find the drive that we created for Halo, which mine is on the... Oh, sorry about that. Mine is on the... Yeah, I got some. There we go. There it is. So now that we have these files pulled up, you just want to double click on this one, and it'll ask you if you want to set it up. Now, these are just terms and conditions basically saying that this is abandonware. You are free to read through this if you want to, but again, this just talks about how it's safe and legal to download. I skipped all the way to the bottom and then, press the little check mark over here just to say that you've read through it. hit next, and this is where you can create a path on your SD card, but I'm putting mine on my C drive. And then make sure you hit do not create shortcut. We're going to make our own shortcut. So once you hit next, it's going to start downloading the game. Now I'm going to fast forward the video to the end where it's fully downloaded. And there we go. So now once it's downloaded, you're just going to hit next and click this box to make sure that the game does not run, and then hit finish. So now the first thing you want to do before you try to run this game is go back to the drive where the game was created, which is on your C drive or wherever you decided to put it. Find this folder. It's titled Movies. And when you go in here, you're going to press with 2 fingers on the screen to right click. And then you want to go to rename and click once. Now you're going to click at the very end and swipe to the left and to bring up your keyboard. And you just want to rename this to literally anything other than intro. I'm going to name mine Wumbo and just press OK so that it saves it as wumbo.wmv. And then you want to go into your game folder and press with 2 fingers to right click and create a shortcut by clicking once. Once you've created your shortcut, I'm going to show you how to actually boot the game up now. So you're going to open Star and you want to go back into Edit because we need to change a few things. You want to go to Advanced and change Stability to Intermediate and change your Startup to Aggressive. And then press the blue check mark in the bottom right hand corner. Once you've successfully done that, you want to tap the 3 lines and go to your shortcuts. And then you'll see that we now have a Halo shortcut. Now, the most important thing is you please want to go to Advanced, force full screen. This is so important because otherwise it's just going to pop up as a tiny little box in the top left corner and you won't be able to see it at all. But go ahead and press play to start the game up. And once the game comes up, the intro will begin to play, but it's going to freeze after it gets past the H. That's how you know you've done it successfully, and it'll just boot up the game. That's why it's very important to rename that intro file Thug Waffle or Wumbo or whatever you want to call it, so that it skips the intro and gets into the actual game. Otherwise it just won't work. If you didn't do this part correctly, just go back and double check to make sure the file is has the .wmv. Now, once you've successfully made it into the game, it is going to ask you to log into your account. Now, this is where you need to go back to that website that we went to earlier, Project Cartographer, and you just want to create an account on that website. That way you can log in and still play online, get achievements, all that fun stuff. Now, once you have created your account, you just log in. As you can see, I've already added my account to my profile, and you want to go into the settings. And the first thing you want to click on is video. And it's very important you want to change this to borderless, 1920 by 1080. And that's about it. I leave everything else the way that it is. You can put level of detail high if you want to, but this is the player selection screen where you can change your online player. This is what your player looks like when you go on online. And you can use all the original Bungie emblems, which is honestly amazing. I never thought that we would be at this peak level of gaming again. But yeah, so that's how you install Halo on the Retroid Pocket. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe. And leave a comment if you are having any issues whatsoever. I'll try to help you out the best I can in Discord.